Not a good look for his. All right, let's cover Tucker Carlson. So, guys, breaking news. This happened a few hours ago. Shout out to Official Hads with the gifted. Thank you so much. Tucker Carlson says he was stopped at question at Tel Aviv airport after interviewing US Ambassador Mike Huckabee. He claims Israeli officials take his producer aside and demanded, thank you, Fuego Wolf with the gifted, and demanded to know what they discussed. Carlson says he only visited the country for a few hours and is now back out. He says the experience was bizarre and left him shaken. Not a good look for his. So, for those of you that aren't familiar, let me bring you guys up to speed real quick. Tucker Carlson, over the past year or so, has been extremely critical of the state of Israel for, very good reasons. They're Christians, what they're doing in Gaza, starting wars, etc. His outspokenness against Israel has been noticed by the community. You got people like Mark Levin and a bunch of others going at him every day on Twitter. They're pissed off. They're super triggered. They're trying to get him canceled. They're calling him like the anti-Semite of the week every other day. So he's gotten quite a bit of heat. And then I would say a lot of this came to a head when he brought Nick Fuentes on his show. When he brought Nick Fuentes on his podcast, that a lot of people off because now, Nick was a part of the conversation and they can't, they can't stop him, right? Because it used to be for a very long time in the right-wing media, which is run by, by the way, if you were persona non grata, they basically it was a clique, right? If you weren't like a supporter of, if you're not going to get invited to Turning Point, you're not going to be able to get podcasts, you're not going to get invited to certain situations. So it's like a real career stifler, right? So Tucker Carlson going like outside of the conservative normie circle and being willing to talk about the genocide in Gaza, being willing to talk about the death and destruction of people in Gaza, both Muslim and Christian, that put a huge target on his back because right-wing media is, whether it's Blaze, Daily Wire, PragerU, all run by okay, so after he got fired from Fox, similar with Candace Owens, he had a meteoric rise. And during his meteoric rise, he started talking about these taboo subjects, as well did Candace. And obviously, this has put them both in the crosshairs of the powerful lobby in America, okay? And we saw with Carrie, the Carrie that I told you guys about that literally just got kicked off the religious board. They have a lot of power and a lot of control. And if you don't see the world through their lens, you're going to get canceled. You're going to get kicked out. You're not going to get invited. You're going to lose certain career opportunities. And that's what basically happened in this situation. So Tucker went to interview Mike Huckabee, aka Mike. I call him Mike Huckabee because he's by the. But he went over there to go talk to him, But here's the thing. Tucker is smart. He didn't leave the airport, okay? He didn't leave the airport. He just went, landed, stayed in the Ben Gurion airport, and waited for Huckabee to show up, who was the ambassador. They did an interview, and then I guess as he was trying to leave, they detained him. So that's kind of the backstory on Tucker and his, red pill awakening on this topic.
If you enjoy my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to create clips like these fast, try Opus Clips. It's smart, simple, and built for creators.